C.W. Anderson, all the attention in this match with Perry Saturn on the return of Perry Saturn. What do you have in store for Perry Saturn?
What do I have in store? I'm an Anderson, son. There's nothing else need to say. Perry Saturn, your big homecoming. The city is throwing you a ticker tape parade. They're giving you the key to the city. Nobody cares, Perry. We're going to take a little trip down memory lane since you don't know who I am. Every pay-per-view this Enforcer's on, I steal the show. Match of the night, Perry. So your big homecoming, that's why they put you with the Enforcer. Match of the night, C.W. Anderson, pay-per-view. History don't lie, son. It's what I do.
Now, Saturn, of course, says that 9 years off, he's not coming back to lose his first match since 2002. Pressure's on you.
How is the pressure on me since it's been 9 years since he's been out of the business? Perry, all I'm going to say is this concrete left, my spine buster, one of those two hit you tonight, it's lights out, son, and you can go back to that bridge you've been lending over the past 9 years.
Perry Saturn, C.W. Anderson is ready for you tonight. Let's go to Bill After with Perry Saturn.
Tonight here at AWE, one of the greatest sports comebacks in history is unfolding. History.
All right.
I'm standing here with Perry Saturn. Perry, it's been 9 years since you stepped into the ring. You've been homeless, you've had a drug addiction problem, and tonight everything gets really, really serious because it's you against C.W. Anderson in your big comeback match.
Well, it's a big comeback match. Hopefully, I don't know how serious it's going to be. Me and C.C. DeVille going to go out there and do the best.
C.C. DeVille, C.W. Anderson.
Yeah, that's what I said. Me and D.B. Cooper. We're going to go out there.
No. C.W. Anderson is the name here. This man breaks bones, Perry Saturn.
Doogie Howser?
No. Perry Saturn. This man breaks bones.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll take it serious for just a minute.
Really?
You're all right. Yeah. C.W. Anderson, who knows? You might whip my ass. But you're going to have to.
It could be curtains or it could be the rings of Saturn. Let's go up to the ring right now.
9 years away.
That's true. It's been 9 years away. He looks in pretty darn good shape. I just came here to make sure that he is in good shape, that he's a good wrestler, and whether we bring him on for future events or not.
Saturn from Boston, Massachusetts, which is about 100 miles south of Portland, Maine, where Mark, Gene, George, Dan, and so many other fans are watching here live on pay-per-view.
You know, I can't argue with what Rick said. I mean, it's the way it should be. See if he's worthy to come back. Winners move up the ladder, losers disappear.
Had a knee injury back in 2002. His life spiraled out of control, and Perry Saturn is the first one to admit that he fell into drug abuse. As Rick said earlier, he was homeless for a short time. But C.W. Anderson has overcome a lot. 4 years ago, went through liver failure. In fact, I'll tell you, Dutch, this guy has only been out of a cast for the past 2 months. He fractured his foot and his ankle in the ring.
Well, nobody is trying to judge his courage, but what I'd like to ask Rick Garrison, when you decided to bring Perry into AWE, I'm assuming you knew his past, you knew everything about him, correct?
That's correct.
Did you? How well did you vet him, and do you feel that you made a wise decision? What if he goes out here tonight and completely fails? Would that say, well, you made a bad decision, or would you feel like you just gave him a chance and he didn't make it?
Well, I think what we're looking at is the fact that he gets that chance. I mean, he's gone 9 years, he hasn't come back. And this is the first match that he's been doing. He looks in good shape. He seems to be focused. I think he'll do a good job, but I just wanted to be here to make sure.
Okay. Good answer.
And Saturn laying in the rights there on C.W. Anderson. Anderson has been off pay-per-view for about a year. He regularly has pay-per-view matches of the night, and he says it's going to be another one. Saturn is showing that he has not really lost a step, and we thought with the 9-year layoff that he would. This is impressive, Larry.
Yeah, no, the moves are great. I mean, belly to back suplex, caught him up with the spinning scissors, and C.W. Anderson's walking around the ring talking to himself now.
Well, I was talking to C.W. Anderson a little earlier, and he is well aware of the fact that Perry Saturn has not been inside a wrestling ring for 9 years. That is a long time, guys. Even taking 6 months out of the ring, a year out of the ring, sometimes it's almost...
Fancy Moses!
Oh, he
did.
right smack in the head with
wait a
that
minute,
chair, and he fell into the cement. I think he's busted
Is he
open.
out?
Saturn dove through the ropes. Anderson, what were you? Well, I was going to ask him what he was thinking. He was thinking that he wanted to beat Perry Saturn, and he just may have done that.
I'm thinking C.W. Anderson was getting embarrassed by Perry Saturn and lost his mind.
Guys, I'm looking right down on him.
He's cut open.
He's cut a little bit. He's bleeding. He caught that chair right along the eye line. Now C.W. Anderson coming out of the ring to check out his handiwork.
What was that all about?
I'm telling you, it's about Anderson felt embarrassed. Perry Saturn was way ahead on points, and he stooped to that.
Wow.
I think what C.W. Anderson, if he's smart right now, what I think he should do is apply a methodical beat down on Saturn and wait till Saturn just runs completely out of gas.
Well,
to me, you know, what keeps bothering me about this whole scenario is the 9 years he stayed out. Plus, what went on in those 9 years, too.
Well, a lot of bad went on in those 9 years, as we've discussed. Saturn himself, in an interview, said, I had a great big screw-up in my life.
Okay, Mr. Garrison, at this point, at this juncture, how does your decision look? Well, it looks starting to look a lot better, isn't it?
Right now, it's looking pretty darn good. He took a hell of a hit, and he came back after it.
Let me ask you, what if the Saturn just almost couldn't defend himself? Would you tell the referee just to stop the match?
No, this is wrestling. Let him go.
Let him go?
Yeah, heck yeah.
That's the kind of talk I like to hear.
Dutch, what are you trying to stir up here? What do you mean? What do you think Saturn is going to stop?
This man here is the president of the AWE.
And you think
And I'm trying to check his administrative skills. So, hey, I think
Anderson goes for the cover, 1-2. What you're trying to do.
I think we might need to consider Chris Cruz's future employment.
Yeah,
here.
what you're trying to do.
I think he's a bad apple already.
I'm telling you.
Trying to stir up some stuff, Dutch.
Well, as you can see, C.W. Anderson is doing exactly like I thought he should do. Is he just riding the horse now? Now he's
but the horse is getting up.
Saturn has been in training for several months for his return. Again, it was a great mystery where Saturn went. He's back and back with a vengeance here. One of the great true mysteries of professional wrestling. And we frankly never thought it was going to be answered. But we've answered it right here live on pay-per-view.
That looks like a bad cut.
Yeah, it's a bad cut. He's lucky, though. It's not dripping in his eye, so he's got vision.
And is able to kick out there. What a night it has been so far. And again, Anderson just dumps Saturn out. Saturn, as we said, a layoff of 9 years. Perry Saturn probably wondering, was it right to come back?
I'm sure he'll be wondering that tomorrow. Right now, he's in the zone.
Anderson has wrestled for 7 years in Japan, still goes regularly, is not intimidated by Perry Saturn.
Didn't you say Saturn had a hurt arm at one time?
He did.
Is that the arm?
Looks like that's the
left arm. Yeah, I think C.W. Anderson, he's done his homework on Saturn. He knows exactly what he's gone through, what's hurt. That's the mark of a smart wrestler.
Saturn had a stellar career, and as we said, it was derailed by the injury. He acknowledged he had fallen into drug abuse and homelessness, and now he's trying to make it and make it big. And what better place to do it in the AWE, and the fans are behind him.
Well,
They're sold out here, Dutch.
If you're going to do it worldwide on pay-per-view. Make or break it. It's a manly way to go.
Chris Cruz, along with the living legend Larry Zbyszko and Dirty Dutch Mantel.
Mr.
So
Garrison,
much more to come.
Mr. Garrison, I want to ask you, how long did you sign this, Mr. Saturn? Is this a short-term deal, and you're going to judge it? You're going to evaluate it later on?
We're going to judge it off of this particular match.
Okay.
We've known him for a couple months. We've watched him for a couple months get in shape. He looks good. The question is, can he last? He's been off for 9 years. That's a heck of a long time. Can he last this match?
Well, let me say that if he loses this match, is his chance with AWA more or less gone, you think? Because there's a lot of great talent out there.
There is good talent out there, and we'll look at him and see. I mean, maybe he can become a little bit more fit. We'll see how he reacts in this whole match. Don't count him out quite yet.
A chop out of nowhere from Perry Saturn on C.W. Anderson. Oh, and Saturn again, laying him in. Oh, but Anderson right back. What? Here comes the 1. Here comes the 2. And almost a 3.
I tell you what, that was a sloppy cover by C.W. Anderson. don't take for granted the man's not going to, kick out or give up. One thing's for sure, Saturn is not going to give up.
He bars the arm, a very simple yet effective move. Dutch, I have to tell you, I don't know what you're doing trying to get into Perry Saturn's business here in the AWE. Why are you even talking about the guy possibly losing the match? We're right in the middle of the thing.
You see what I'm talking about, Mr. Garrison? He's a troublemaker.
I'm not a troublemaker. You're the troublemaker. I'm trying to call the match. It's a great story here, and you're trying to talk to the president of the AWE.
Wait a minute. I'm hired by this man here, Mr. Garrison, to come out here and be an objective commentator, and yet you're taking offense to that?
I'm not. Well, maybe I am.
It's becoming a hostile work environment already.
I'm telling you.
I'm going to see my lawyer Monday.
It's the second time you said
Will
that.
you guys stop
I'm
it?
just trying to make a point here.
We get it.
Hey, your point has been made.
All right.
Saturn had been in the ring for 9 years. I get it.
No, he just pointed his elbow on the steel steps.
Saturn was a member of a group of professional wrestlers that, in essence, changed the face of professional wrestling and then just disappeared. He has reappeared here. He is being beaten and battered there by C.W. Anderson, but he's shown.
C.W. Anderson maybe underestimated him, ran right into the foot. And again, Perry Saturn grabbed him by the neck, bulldogged him down.
Perry Saturn at this point is running on fumes, guys. And he may yank this out, and I hope he does. I don't want to ruin a great feel-good story, but he's running on fumes.
Well, you're exactly right, Dutch. It would be a great feel-good story if the man came back after such a long layoff. I don't think it's ever been done in professional wrestling.
Those fumes might be nitrous oxide.
He just clotheslined him. 1, 2, and Anderson almost counted. The referee almost counted a 3 on Anderson. Man.
Well, these referees are good at counting to 3, aren't they?
You'd hope.
Is that one of the prerequisites of hiring a referee, Mr. Garrison? He's got to be able to count to 3.
That's one of our prerequisites.
That's going to do it.
Count to
That's going to
20
do it.
now.
1, 2, here it goes. No.
He couldn't hold him
Saturn
down.
kicks out.
How'd he kick out? He's running on instinct.
He's running on instinct, and to be honest with you, C.W. Anderson, that was a sloppy cover.
Now the rubber. Oh! We've seen that before. Your former partner. 1, 2. Oh, no.
Yeah, but when Arn did it, they didn't get up.
Well, I'll say one thing. He's still bleeding, but he's still fighting. And I tell you, if you spend time on those streets out there, I think that will toughen you up a little bit.
One tough guy even before he left. 1, 2, and a...
Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen,
You gotta be kidding.
here's your winner,
Wasn't pretty,
Perry Saturn.
but it worked.
Well, he got it.
Here he is. He's right next to us. One of the
He got
great
it.
mysteries of professional wrestling in recent years.
He's got
has
my
been
respect.
solved.
He's got my respect, guys.
He did a good job, didn't he?
Excellent job, I think.
Yep. But I think you're right. The time on the street certainly made him a lot tougher.
Well, Rick Garrison, the president of AWE, we do thank you for joining us. I think you've got a pretty good sense of what Perry Saturn is capable of now.